I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws.
Young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
In 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You will tell it?
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell.
Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But
it's all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Katt Williams warned everybody that 2024 was going to be the year hidden industry stories started coming out. And now it looks like he was not just talking for attention. Because ever since that interview, the entertainment world has been dealing with one shocking allegation after another. And now, Katt's warning is being connected to the renewed conversation around Usher, Justin Bieber, and Diddy. The reason this story is gaining so much attention is because fans recently started questioning what really happened between Usher and Justin after reports claimed they had a heated exchange at Beyoncé and Jay-Z's Oscars after-party. That moment surprised people because Usher was one of the first major stars connected to Justin's rise. He helped bring Justin into the industry after Scooter Braun discovered him, and for years, the public saw them as mentor and student. But now, people are asking why that relationship seems so damaged. And the bigger question is this: did something happen years ago that Justin never fully recovered from? The conversation leads back to one moment that has been resurfacing for years. Justin spending time with Diddy when he was still very young.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So, every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know. Come get the front shot. At 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion?
Yeah.
At the time, many people looked at that clip as a harmless celebrity mentorship moment. But now, with everything being re-examined, viewers are looking at Justin's body language differently. What once looked like excitement now feels uncomfortable to a lot of fans.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's called He's Bad Boy Now. It's called Don't Ever Play Yourself.
And this is why people believe Justin became extremely protective of younger artists like Billie Eilish later in his career. Because Justin knows what it feels like to enter the industry young, surrounded by powerful adults, fake love, pressure, and promises that can disappear overnight.
Well, I just wanted to be a good example, and it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. I just wanted to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
This is where Katt Williams enters the conversation again. Because Katt has been warning for years that some so-called industry mentorships are not really mentorships at all. According to Katt, powerful people sometimes use money, access, and opportunities to bring younger or less powerful entertainers into situations they do not fully understand. And Katt claims he almost became part of that system too. He said Diddy offered him huge money multiple times, but he refused because he believed the offer came with conditions he was not willing to accept.
The one comedian that we've been sitting here doing this interview that you hold in very high regard is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million. You said it was more. Tell the story.
That's right.
I will let you tell it.
No, you're
No,
the
I
best.
want you to tell it.
You really are the best. You're proving it here today. As much as I'm proving it, you proving it. You proving it. Yeah, that wasn't the thing. It wasn't, people say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Like, no, not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Cat, I need to know. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on,
Katt also claimed Diddy was not the only powerful figure who tried to put him in a compromising situation. Now, to be clear, this does not prove that Justin Bieber was harmed by Diddy. But the reason fans are connecting these stories is because the pattern feels familiar to them. Justin was young. Usher helped bring him into the industry. Then Justin was introduced to Diddy for mentorship. And years later, Justin openly spoke about how difficult it was to be a young artist, surrounded by people who claimed to love him, but could turn their backs on him at any moment. The situation becomes even more complicated because Usher himself has a long history with Diddy. Usher was introduced to Diddy when he was still very young. The public story was that Diddy was supposed to mentor him and help develop him as an artist. But over the years, Usher has hinted that his time around Diddy exposed him to things that were not normal for someone his age. In interviews, Usher has described that era as wild, but he has often avoided going into full detail. That silence is why fans keep asking questions. And when old claims, alleged emails, and insider comments resurface, people begin wondering whether Usher was also affected by the same industry environment he later introduced Justin into.
In many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible.
This is the part that confuses many viewers. Even with all the allegations surrounding Diddy, Usher still speaks about him with respect. He recognizes Diddy's business influence and cultural impact, while saying his own experience does not match the darker image being discussed publicly. But to critics, that loyalty raises another question. Is Usher defending Diddy because he truly believes in him, or because he knows more than he wants to say? Gene Deal's comments added more fuel to the conversation because he suggested that Usher and others may know much more about Diddy than they have publicly revealed. Again, these are allegations, not confirmed facts, but once people connected Gene's comments with Katt Williams' warnings, Justin's emotional interviews, and Usher's continued support for Diddy, the story became much bigger than one-party argument. It became a question about the entire system around young stars in Hollywood.
Crazy, man. So all this stuff about him having fetishes is true.
Oh, no doubt. Especially if he getting butt plugs in different flavors.
But speaking of butt plugs, right, I remember some years ago, Cameron, he did an interview, and he told a story about how he went to Diddy house with mates,
Yeah.
and he found the dildo in the sink.
I think that was crazy. I think that was out of, and then Mace said that was Puffs. I think he said Mace said that was Puffs, but Mace was in the bathroom with it. I don't know what that was all about, man, but that was real weird to me. That was crazy.
Crazy, man. But before we get off of that, right, I remember you told me a while ago that, Mace, he used to live with Diddy, and he know a lot of stuff about Diddy that a lot of people don't know.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too, when he was younger. That Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy count?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows, the white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
So now the question is simple. Was Justin Bieber's distance from Usher just personal tension? Or was it connected to something much deeper that happened when he was first brought into the industry? Because if Katt Williams was right, then this is not only about Diddy. It is about who knew, who stayed quiet, and who helped open the door.